Hello and welcome to the BuckandWolfInn. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the Wit magic as it's presented in the Realm of the Elderlings series of books by Robin Hobb. This is compiled from the information provided from the entire series. Therefore, it contains spoilers. These sections, however, will be marked with warnings both on screen and in the timestamps in the description box. There is also the entire script of this video linked in the description box for those who would prefer a written form of the information.
The Wit, also known as Old Blood magic, or derogatively as beast magic, is a form of magic linked to animals. The Wit is characterized by communication and bonds with animals as well as being attuned with nature. It is the only magic in the Six Duchies that is persecuted. This persecution has led to it being only used in secret or in witted communities. It is found throughout the Six Duchies and frequently in the Mountain Kingdom. It is not clear if its prevalence in the Mountain Kingdom is simply due to it not being vilified and therefore less secretive.
The Wit was not always persecuted in the Six Duchies. Historically, it was not only generally accepted, but also deemed a useful tool when farming or working with animals. It was always considered a lesser magic compared to the skill and associated with peasantry. In the time of King Viral, his daughter had an illegitimate son named Charger, with a witted stable hand. Charger came to be known as the Piebald Prince due to having unusual birthmarks all over his body. Upon his majority, given the death of his mother, Charger was named heir and successor to the throne. This was much to the dismay of the king's legitimate nephew, Canny. Following the demise of King Viral, Canny set about discrediting Charger, which resulted in accusations of the newly crowned king turning into a beast at will and attacking Canny and his followers. Canny then used this excuse to justify murdering the king and crowning himself. This turn of events eventually led to the lies and rumours about the Witted being spread and the hunting and killing of any with the magic.
The Witted community is divided into groups based on ideology and culture. Fundamental disagreements between the groups are a point of contention. These include political views, culture, and a way of life, the relationships with their bond animals, and significance and use of the magic itself. The best known groups are the Piebald Court, the Old Bloods, and the Piebalds, this latter naming themselves after the former.
Towards the end of his reign, but before the death of King Viral, the court came to be divided in two. The Canny court, whom allied themselves with Canny of Burns and the hope he would inherit the throne, and the Piebald court of Prince Charger. The Piebald court was formed of those loyal to Prince Charger. Charger, upon seeing the mockery of others at his appearance, decided to embrace it symbolically. His court then came to ride Piebald horses and own Piebald hounds. The majority of Charger's court were Witted themselves, which led to the rumour that Charger would only admit the Witted into his court. This is believed to be slanderous and untrue. The Piebald court selected their bond animal from their household animals, be it hounds, horses, etc. Charger himself kept his animals secret, so it could not be used against him. There was no ordained way to select one's bond animal and no specified manner of using the magic. Upon the murder of Prince Charger, the Piebald court was disassembled, with its members disappearing, executed, or assassinated.
The Old Bloods are a group of witted folk that live in the Six Duchies. They adhere to traditions and customs passed down across generations. They are very insular, to the extent where they may even cast out their own offspring if they do not have the wit. They have set beliefs and philosophies regarding the wit itself, bonds with animals and the community. The Old Bloods quest for their bondmate, which is a ritual they undertake after entering adulthood. The Old Bloods also believe that bonding as a child is a perversion akin to child marriage. For this reason, old blood parents shelter their young from such contacts. The old bloods also believe in blood purity. This means they will only marry another old blood. They will also strive to marry someone bonded to an animal whose nature is complementary to their own. They also mold their lives around their bond animal. They try to ensure neither party is more dominant. Their homes are built in a way to accommodate the natural habitat of the animal without surrendering the comforts of a human home. These unusual living arrangements lead to them usually living in the outskirts of towns or out in the countryside, further allowing for more nature-filled environment for their animal. The Old Bloods believe that entering the body of a Wit Bond animal, or vice versa, is abhorrent. Prolonging the life of your Wit Bond animal is also frowned upon. They also believe there is a kingship between all who are witted, meaning civilities like offering food, shelter, or protection towards other witted is socially expected of them. They also deem it an unspeakable crime to betray or harm another Old Blood.
The Piebalds are a group of political rebels seeking to end the persecution of the Witted. They are so named in memory of the Piebald court. Their goal is to expose high-ranking nobles as witted to bring to light the hypocrisy of their condemnation. They seek to do so through violence and humiliation. They seem to care very little for their bond animal, having the animal kept more in magically induced servitude. They force the bond upon their animal of choice with the hopes of controlling them. The selection process is based almost entirely on the usefulness of the animal. The Piebalds have no qualm with entering into their Wit Bond animal to preserve themselves, and have no issue taking strength from their animal to aid their own. They are in direct opposition of the Old Bloods, as these believe the Piebald's treatment of their bond animal to be an abomination. Though their aim is to liberate the witted from oppression, they are not against inflicting violence on other witted with whom they disagree. They seek to recruit as many witted as possible to their cause, and will even threaten to expose people's identities. This is so that their persecution leads them to rely on the protection of the Piebalds.
Outside of these communities, there are also witted folk with no affiliation. These people may be living amongst non-witted communities, passing undetected. There are also those who prefer to live a solitary existence with their animal in the countryside. There are those who despise having an affinity for the magic, reject it, or only use it mildly in their trade. There are also those who come from witted families, namely Old Blood families, who cannot access the magic and therefore are cast out of their communities. Finally, there are some folks who are unaware of their ability and therefore do not practice it.
The Wit Cotterie is a group of witted from various backgrounds assembled during the reign of Prince Dutiful, to advise the crown on the affairs and needs of the witted folk. This was done in an attempt to show support for the witted community on behalf of the crown, and ensure a safer environment in the Six Duchies for those with the magic.
The Wit Sense is enhanced innate instincts and some additional abilities that witted individuals may possess. These abilities include wit detection. In other words, the ability to identify another witted person and sense their use of it. The ability to detect life, a heartbeat, body warmth, etc. Gentle influence of a person's or animal's natural emotions by calming or riling them. If a wit user is not well versed in the magic, or a more seasoned user may overhear the conversations occurring between the weaker one and their bond animal. It can be used in animal-based work like farmhands or stable masters, as one can influence the animals around them. Animals can communicate in images or emotions to a witted person, and a witted person may in turn take themselves to be understood by an animal. Animals can communicate in images or emotions to a witted person, and a witted person may in turn make themselves be understood by an animal.
A wit bond is a bond between a witted person and an animal. This bond is usually a strong linking of the minds of both parties. This in turn comes with both benefits and some disadvantages. Among the downsides to the magic is the intensity of the bond. This can lead the human to become more animalistic, or the animal to become too human. It can isolate either user from their own kin if not used with caution and boundaries set. This can also impede in interpersonal relationships with their own kind, as the bonded pair would have a tendency to prioritize each other over anyone else. Additionally, it can be a vulnerability, as a wit user's bond animal may be used against them. Advantages. Some of the advantages it may present, however, may vary much more based on the animal. The bonded pair may share and provide strength for one another. The human of the pair may also add longevity to the life of the animal through the bond, with bonded animals frequently living a longer lifespan than is usual for their kind due to the magic. The primary advantage, however, is the ability to directly communicate with your bond partner. Being able to sense their whereabouts or their doings across distances and to telepathically converse at any given time is the most common advantage of the magic. While shared consciousness is generally an advantage, the need for privacy at certain times in one's head is also essential. For this, the pair may learn to put in place mental walls. This would block out their partner for as long as they so wished. It is usually only used in specific circumstances, with the flow of consciousness between the pair being the norm and the severance occasional. A more controversial use of the wit is the ability to completely transfer one of the pair's consciousness into the other. This is a divisive use of the magic, even within the witted community. This use of the magic is generally used to prolong life. The consciousness is transferred in the case of physical harm, thus allowing the body to heal and the consciousness remaining, as opposed to dying. The one who has transferred themselves may either remain in the body of their bond partner or return to their own body, depending on the circumstances. The joining of the two in this way may, however, come with serious consequences. For example, the two minds may meld together in a way that neither is capable of functioning as it should. Another issue that may arise is the loss of self, wherein a human entering their animal may become more animalistic, or an animal may become more human the longer they are merged. This can lead to terrible dissociation and even an inability to return to their natural state.
The forged seem to have a heightened awareness of the wit. They are attracted to the use of the magic and prey on more of the witted than any other. They are attracted to the use of the magic and prey more on the witted than any other. It is unclear why they can sense the wit, or why they are attracted to it. In the series, the witted are wary of the forged not only because of this persecution, but also because of what they perceive of the forged. They are described as lacking the life force that usually allows the witted to sense a person's proximity. The witted cannot sense the forge with the wit, implying that the forge are devoid of the aspect that allows the witted to feel life.
Thank you so much for watching this video. We have a video of the skill magic also here on the channel and linked in the description box. There you can also find a link to our Discord where you hope you will join us to talk more about this incredible series. We also invite you to chat to us about more things from this series you want us to talk about on the channel. We hope you have found this video helpful and informative, and we hope you will visit us again soon.